I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about the Shockmaster.
Everybody out there has had a Shockmaster moment, at least one. Okay, a lot of people are either anxious to talk about it or they're apprehensive, think they're going to hurt my feelings. My feelings were only hurt when they made me do it. The thrill of victory, they say in the beginning, and the agony of defeat. Well, the agony of defeat is a ski jumper skiing down the ramp and takes about 50 bumps going down the hillside because of bumping something or whatever. And it showed every single episode he was the agony of defeat. And I'm like thinking, the Shockmaster is that guy. Okay. Taking the blowout where I blew out the wall. I blew 5 support boards out in that because it wasn't a gimmick deal. Okay. They didn't gimmick the wall. They didn't cut the wall. And I broke 5 studs in the wall. They were about 12 to 14. It was built like a wall in your house. And there was a board went across right under my knees because the wall was like about 11 and a half, 12 feet tall. And what happened was it should have been kicked the wall. I got the mask on because it was supposed to conceal my identity as the mystery partner. And it had little holes there, and the glitter from the helmet was coming through those. And then they took the secretary's pantyhose off and cut little patches and glued them over the holes so the glitter wouldn't come in my eyes. And I put it on, and the rest is history. Mike Graham was the guy who was going to give me the cue. They couldn't microphone the helmet to do the promos and that stuff. So Arn Anderson is the one, not Arn Anderson, but Ole was the one that gave the big deal, the promo when I went through the wall, and the helmet pops off like the champagne cork because the bottom didn't pop out. I double axe handled and broke 5 support boards and just went whoop down on the stage, and was turning my head because it was live in Daytona Beach. It wasn't taped. So it was live. So I'm trying to protect people from seeing who it was. And it freaked out all the guys that were on the stage with me. That's why you're reading there. He fell on his arse, and Sid Vicious, he's like, and, it was just altogether a funny deal. Although I've made a lot.
Wow. But yeah. I mean, I think for a short-lived character, the impact of the shot, and I don't mean this disingenuously, but I mean the impact that it made, it's huge. It's still remembered to this day. To me, when they told me we're getting this interview, we're like, oh, we have Fred Ottman, we got Tugboat. I'm like, we got the Shockmaster. Like,
that's it, brother.
I'm looking forward to that.
And a lot of people, it was only bad that night. I was disappointed because I always went out trying to do my very, very, very best at everything I've done in this business, and every character, every conceivable character. And that happened. And, I tell people, I meet kids and all that stuff because the kids are the ones that are watching all the stuff from way back then. They know all your specs. They know your names, who you work with. I mean, 8, 9-year-olds, okay, coming up at these signings because they watch them with their dad. And I tell them about that. You're the Shockmaster. You're the Shockmaster. I says, yeah, this is the deal with that, okay? When you're having a really bad day, I don't care what it is, I says, you go watch that video on YouTube that millions have watched, and you have a better day at my expense. Because if you can't laugh at yourself, you look like, it's not so bad. And then you've met me now, okay? You got to always remember when you fall down to get right back up and go forward. And if you learn that and you do that, you'll go far, far in life. And man, they're always like, oh, that's awesome, blah, blah, blah. And the parents are the same way, And I'm like, it's just the way it is. Everybody out there has had a Shockmaster moment, at least one, okay? Whether it be at work, whether it be in sports, whether it be in anything that you do, one way or another, you've had that Shockmaster moment where it's such a screw up and you're like, oh my God, I'm never going to get over this. And I'm so embarrassed and blah, 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 you know? But you got to get up, stand up, and do your deal, you know?